owning 4 gyms, working, we were trying to work 3 hours a day.
I met a gypsy.
Let's say you do it again. So you've experienced having $500 million. So, and it doesn't sound like
Well,
there was that correct in saying?
I had partners, so we
Okay.
sold it for $500 million, but I only had 36.2% of it or something like that.
Yeah. So, okay. So being in the 100 mil club, what, like, where do you stop money wise? Like what, because, all right. So it's like, let's say you've got happiness, or you've got like, you're unhappy and you start your business. So you've got money and happiness, and they're like kind of on the ground floor together. And then it's like the business gets success and you start getting a taste of money. Maybe the happiness outweighs, the happiness scales up here. At what point does the money go like this and the happiness go down? And it's like, is there a point where you should have paid attention to that sliding scale and like kept the business, the money side of things, below the happiness side? So it's like you kind of could have had both, Is there a scale there, or is it because, fuck, man, life has a way of just gathering momentum that you kind of lose control of, right? And it's like, can
Right.
you even get off the fucking ride? Like, my life costs a lot more money these days because I got more shit. Like, I got someone that works for me now, which has been epic.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's a fucking pressure. And then it's like, once you get a taste of making X amount, then you're like, okay, so now I can invest in this, and now I can buy more cameras. Now I can, and then it's like you said, that carryover cost. So it's like, can you even get off the fucking ride? And should you have stopped at a certain, like, should you get off at a stop that's like, I'm happy and the business is good?
I don't. I think that's intellectually we can have that conversation, but in reality, the richest guy I ever met in the fitness industry, he told me everybody reaches their Peter principle, son. And basically, the Peter principle is a small book that says everybody raises in life to their point of incompetence.
Mm.
So the theory, I remember when we had just four clubs, didn't have a third partner at that point. We hadn't franchised yet. It was only my brother and myself. We were 50-50 partners, and we were each making 60 grand a month, owning 4 gyms, working, we were trying to work 3 hours a day to run those 4 gyms.
So that sounds pretty good.
Wow. I think I played 104 rounds of golf that year. and but then we got into the franchising, and then that it took on a whole new dimension. And yeah, it was pretty fun company to be involved with up until 2008. 2008 when we started a board and things started to get real serious. Then that's when all my addiction started to kick in and pick up. I had always dealt with the depression though, so as really finding that balance, I think the reality is you go for it until you grow too big, and then it all fucking kind of explodes, and then you level out and find a happy medium where you can live your life comfortably.
Yeah.
With hopefully the stresses, so you don't have to smoke too many of these.
Yeah. Because I'm like I feel like I'm trying to be pretty cognizant of that. And especially like, because there's money and then there's like notoriety. So it's like, I feel like in business, it's like you've got unless you're like a famous businessman, but you know, you start adding in like notoriety, and especially like this program here, it's like the goal of this, or like the metric, for the metric of dollars to increase, so does the metric of views, and then that brings like just the more people that are like looking at shit, that brings like a whole different level of stresses. So then it's just like, oh, I'm always cognizant of that. Like, fuck, how hard should you push? How big should you try and get? Because I mean, it like for me too, I'm at a point where I'm like really enjoying the business. Like the business is fun for me now, and it wasn't like I never really was in business to enjoy, like because I enjoyed business. I worked for myself because I wanted lifestyle and I wanted freedom, but those two things don't really go together. So like, to have the freedom, you need the money, and to have the money, you need the fucking business. So it was like I didn't really care about the business. I just wanted the freedom. But then the element missing was money. But now it's like I really enjoy the business. Like I love what I do. And I think that that's probably because there's now like a real genuine thing attached to that, which is like we could make motocross and supercross really fucking cool. And I'm just a regular person. And, you know, and now I'm in a position where like I could help do shit. So like, the way I do that is by like making my business better. And then that like, just by proxy, like shit goes with it. But yeah, it's just like, I get worried about that. I'm like, fuck, you have this, you like love the business side of it now. And then with that comes money. But then, yeah, it's like then you start entering that territory that you just described, and so many people have described it before you.
Yeah. It's a great opportunity you have.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.